Happy holidays, Young,
and happy National Day.
Now, we were just listening to our reporters and they were saying how bustling over there is. I can assure you Shanghai is bustling as well. This is the first day of the holidays and people have been going in and out. Though we're indoors, it's really busy out there. I mean, it's a lovely vibe that we're getting out here in Shanghai. Now, Kaiyi and I are at the Hongqiao International Coffee Harbor. Now, this is a distribution center for imports as well as a meeting place for international trade enterprises. It has been part of the China International Import Expo, which will be happening here in Shanghai in November. Now, today, what we're going to do is we want to show you how Shanghai is a successful example of China's policy of reform and opening up in 1978. Young, as you know, Shanghai is an international trading city. It's China's most open metropolis. So coffee, as we found, is playing an integral role in bridging the East and the West.
That's right. So growing exposure to global influences has really seen Chinese people adopting Western culture like drinking coffee. And imagine we're talking about a country known for its tea culture.
Right.
Actually, the first cafe opened in Shanghai as early as 1886. And since then, today, that Shanghai still remains the city with the largest number of coffee shops here in China. Just last year, there were over 9,000 outlets in the city, an increase of more than 1,000 compared to the previous year. And also in the year of 2023, the coffee market in China was valued at more than 35 billion US dollars. And now, obviously, Shanghai remains to be the most important Chinese city for investment and financing in the coffee industry.
Imagine that, Young, how many coffee shops there are here.
Yeah.
Now, the popularity of coffee here in China has sparked a new trend where you can find coffee with Chinese elements to the point that even traditional Chinese performances are appreciating the coffee culture.
店家，店家，你好么？
哎呦，我还跟你
大家好，大家好。
哎呦，是他，甚至半夜还有点看看。
口早得劲哎！
不费的给。喏，
这是什么？
咖啡。
哦，衰家试他一试。
那好，
香。好。
Oh, thank you. Thank you. What a beautiful performance. Well, that was Kunqu Opera, and I guess they were telling a story of how much they like drinking coffee.
You know, Young, the beauty of it is, even if you do not completely understand Mandarin, you can still get the gist of what they are trying to say. I think it's very entertaining.
Right, and you can find more Chinese elements in coffee these days, and that's what we have here on the table.
Yeah, and we have this lovely young man here, Hai Yang, who is doing some Chinese latte art for us. So he's done for us one with the zodiac sign of dragon, lion dance, and even bamboo, which kind of shows us China's efforts in ecological protection. Now, that's not all. Hai Yang, thank you very much. Now, we also have coffee here with Chinese elements. Okay, this one here has got a very interesting color, kind of greenish. It's called the 5 black grains coffee. So it has got all grains inside it. You've got sesame, you've got black rice, you've got mulberry. So it's all grains. It's full of grains inside. So this one is very interesting. We need to try that later. And then this one here is jasmine chestnut latte. Now, in Kaiyi, I've had jasmine tea, but not mixed with coffee. And then they've got a chestnut topping on it. So that is going to be quite interesting as well. Yeah. Okay, this one is very popular, I think. You know, in Beijing, I've had this before. It's a coconut latte. Have you tried it before?
No.
No?
No,
Okay.
I haven't tried it.
So this one is another Chinese element, coconut latte, which is very popular here in Shanghai as well. And the last one here is a rice latte.
Rice latte.
Okay, this one is very intriguing. We got to try that as well.
Yeah, sure. So to meet growing demands from Chinese consumers, China also produces its own coffee. If we just look behind us, these are all coffee domestically made in China, mostly from Yunnan. So Gaz and I are going to have some coffee while you guys check out this story in terms of how China's opening up with other countries along the Belt and Road.
We got to try it all.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. This one is good.
Ports are crucial to our daily lives. About 80% of globally traded goods are shipped by sea through ports like this one. So as China looks to trade even more with the world, modernizing the ports is a key part of those efforts. Here in Xiamen, on the country's southeastern coast, local port authority has been working on something called Silk Road Maritime for the past 6 years.
First of all, it is a brand. Secondly, it is a platform. So it is a brand and platform that are geared towards the Belt and Road Initiative with shipping as the theme.
Silk Road Maritime has achieved various milestones that underscore its commitment to enhancing global shipping and connectivity. The brand has successfully formed an association that brings together various stakeholders in the industry, fostering collaboration and shared standards. A dedicated platform has been developed to streamline services and information sharing among members. One of its notable technological advancements is the creation of a weather navigation software that helps vessels plan optimal routes based on real-time weather data, marking a breakthrough for China in an industry largely dominated by Western companies. Additionally, Silk Road Maritime has introduced smart trackable containers, ensuring greater transparency in cargo tracking. To incentivize efficiency, the initiative names and rewards exemplary shipping routes, recognizing companies that excel in service quality. Furthermore, it has hosted numerous forums to facilitate dialogue and exchange of ideas, ultimately aiming to create a more interconnected and efficient international supply chain.
We also hope that in the next steps, through projects like building the port of Piraeus in Greece and the port of Mandola, as well as developing ports in Peru, we can not only export our hardware, but also input our software. We aim to export our standards and input our services. By promoting these standardized services, we can make the entire international supply chain more efficient, safer, more stable, and more controllable.
So far, the Silk Road Maritime Initiative has gathered over 340 members, including major global ports and trade enterprises.
Over the past 2 years, there have been talks of decoupling and breaking supply chains, but our trade continues to grow. This matter relates to national interests and the well-being of people worldwide, making it less susceptible to political interference. We believe that as long as we maintain friendly exchanges with the people of these countries along the Belt and Road, sharing common economic interests and interactions, we can definitely achieve our goal of building a community with a shared future. This path is undoubtedly the right one.
As global trade continues to grow, initiatives like Silk Road Maritime are crucial in fostering international connections, ensuring that even amidst political challenges, the flow of goods remains uninterrupted. Chen Mengfei, CGTN, Xiamen.
Great report there, right,
Yeah.
Kaiyi? Now we have Mauricio Perez. He's the purchasing manager of Shanghai Kaiyi Trading Company. Mo, thank you for joining us on the show on Global Watch. Now, what's going on here?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity. What I've been doing is a cupping, which is a process of how we evaluate the quality of the coffee. Through our cupping, we can assess different characteristics of the coffee, including the flavor notes, including also the body, the mouthfeel, the aftertaste, which is the sensation after you drink it. And it allows us to see which coffees are good, which coffees are not good, and of course, to enjoy a very good cup of coffee.
So what coffee beans do we have here?
Here we have coffees from Colombia.
Okay.
I chose wash coffee, which is, for me, is the most traditional taste that you could find. For someone who might not be into coffee, it's some flavor notes very easy to identify. So if you would like to try,
Yes, please.
let's have a try.
you
Yes,
can
please.
first grab a spoon,
Okay.
and then you can wash in
Here?
one of the bowls. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you can
Okay.
get a little bit of coffee,
Okay.
and then you slurp.
Oh,
Slurp.
slurp.
Slurp is very
Okay.
important because it
slurping
allows
sound, right?
Yes, a little bit too much. Yes, did it good.
Oh, it tastes good.
Wow. Why slurping?
It's slurping because it allows the coffee to
Okay.
spread all over your mouth. You have different parts of your tongue, especially, that allows you to identify the different qualities of the coffee or the different flavors.
Yeah.
So in the first part of the tongue, you can identify the sweetness and so on.
And you're
Allow that.
absolutely right, because it just spreads, the flavor
Yeah.
just spreads out everywhere. Very nice. It's very strong though.
It's very strong,
Yeah.
but for someone who is getting into coffee, they're
It
very easy flavors to identify. So dark
Okay.
chocolate, a little bit bitter, but still super clean at the end.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you like a bad sensation that it's a bad coffee.
You're right. It's very clean and very nice. So, Mo, you have been in Shanghai for a while now. So, last year, Shanghai led the country with over 2,000 foreign coffee companies. How do you find the business environment here in Shanghai for foreigners like yourself?
I think it's always improving to the point that nowadays more than 35 countries have visa exemptions up to 14 days. So people can come here for tourism or for business. And they're also easing other barriers, such as electronic payments. You know, everything in China here, you need your phone and you can survive just with your phone.
You can get out of the home without your wallet.
Just like
yes.
me. And also some other implementations, for example, of rules related to free trade agreements that for some other countries, especially my industry, is very important because make of different products very competitive for us.
Yeah. So you've not been new to this industry. You've been, in it for a while. What kind of consumption trends or patterns are you seeing here in China with regards to coffee?
I have to say China is not boring at all. If you go overseas, you will find that in a regular coffee shop, the drinks are always espresso drinks. And that's it. You put some milk and you make a cappuccino. Here in China, you will find coconut milk latte.
Yeah,
you will
exactly,
find
like what we-
multi coffees. That it was actually a very interesting combination because that allowed some generation, especially older generations, to have the first sip of coffee. And for the new generations to have the first sip of baijiu. So that created a boom, and it was very trendy a few months ago. And that's why I say China is not boring at all when it comes to coffee. They're always innovating, and it changes very quick.
Okay. So what about let's talk about Hongqiao International Coffee Port. How does it play a role, in helping Chinese coffee go global?
I believe this platform is very good for different companies like us because it offers infrastructure for example, we have a warehouse, and it is very important for us to have the traceability and a good management for our goods because they are very susceptible to quality changes or they could be affected. And not just that, as you could see around, it also gives us visibility to all the buyers that maybe they don't know about us. So when they come to this place, well, it helps us to connect.
Right. Well, the coffee port will be a part of the China International Import Expo this November in Shanghai. This is an annual event. So what are some of your expectations?
I wish more and more people come and from different countries. Last year was a success in terms of connecting with different companies that perhaps we didn't know. And the event itself, it supports the companies coming from overseas to overcome the language barrier. Because some companies or some people don't speak English or they don't speak Chinese, and they just speak Spanish or whatever language is it. So it is a very good platform to overcome difficulties that you might encounter when you're trying to do business with Chinese companies.
Yeah, and we know that the exhibitors at the CIE will also include at least more than 20 Belt and Road participating countries. How will this benefit trade between China and some of those coffee-producing countries?
Well, it allows, in terms of China, is helping them, especially in terms of infrastructure. For example, in Peru, there is just now one of the biggest ports in Latin America, like Hongqiao, or also Ethiopia, which is the largest coffee exporter to China. And the development of infrastructure in these countries not just allow that, it also helps trading and creating more wealth and distribution among the different nations that are participating in such initiative. Well.
Yeah, go on.
Well, thank you so much, sir.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
and
you,
happy
Mo.
holidays.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Pleasure
you.
to meet
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So our reporter Hou Jing is actually at CGTN Center in Shanghai,
Yeah.
and she's going to show us how I think the business environment is supporting foreign companies.
Correct.
So Hou Jing, over to you.
Hi, Gas and Kaiyi. I'm very glad to hear your sharing of the coffee, especially how it become a media where the Eastern and Western culture converge and people from different parts of the world can meet together. Here at the downtown Shanghai, I also have such a good place to share with you. It is called Xingtiandi, which literally translates to New World or New Horizons. As you step through the stone gate behind me, you totally feel like entering a new world. Here you can not only enjoy the coffee of different flavors, but also cuisine from across the globe, including Italian pizza, Spanish ham, Mexican barbecue, French pastry, and more. Here, Xingtiandi offers something for almost everyone. If you crave the energy of city life, the main street is vibrant and bustling. If you want to find somewhere quiet, the tranquil alley full of Shanghai's traditional vibe awaits your discovery. And if you do like the night scene, the Xingtiandi presents itself with glamour after the sunset. Also, this is also a premier showroom for numerous brands, especially a hub for international brands to establish their first or flagship store in Shanghai or even the entire Chinese market. The Xingtiandi shopping complex hosts nearly 100 international brands, accounting for over 30% of the entire brand family. Some international brands have launched their first flagship store in Shanghai, such as Tom Ford, and some others even opened their very first store in China here at Xingtiandi. So much like the nearby architectural clusters, holistic design, Shanghai embraces international partners, providing a nurturing business environment for brands of both domestic and international to flourish. So, Gas and Kaiyi, would you like to join us for a dinner party after today's work at Xingtiandi to celebrate this holiday? Back to you.
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
Sure.
We'll
Come
be there.
Come in. Well, thank you, Hou Jing. Well, as Hou Jing just explained, how Shanghai is the best place to show that, like, China's opening up plan is opening up to the world. And the government has already caught for a first-rate business environment that is internationalized, market-oriented, and law-based. It has already taken a few initiatives, and it plans to reduce that negative list for foreign investment. All that to ensure that all those foreign invested enterprises receive the same national treatment as their domestic counterparts.
And Young, the new regulations will kick in this November. Also, foreign-funded enterprises can engage in the development of certain medical fields. Foreign-owned hospitals are also allowed in cities like Shanghai, Beijing, and Guangzhou. So a lot of initiatives being taken here in China as it further opens up to the world. As China's top economic and financial center, Shanghai plays an important role in that whole process. Now, Young, sadly, it's time for us to go. But before we do that, Hou Jing, you want to join us as well? I think she's up on the screen as well. There's a big shout out from the Eastern Route team for our viewers.
国庆节快乐！